That heifer right there just don't even care.
Save yourself now.
Action.
Hey, y'all.
What do you say, folks?
Okay, Mr. Mike, I was afraid we were going to be like 15 minutes late. You got to give me the 30 seconds here.
What do you say?
My phone says 7:01.
I did push the button at 7 o'clock, though.
I do apologize, though. I know how valuable your time is.
Yes, sir. And we do value your time. Yes.
We do. So, hey, everybody else.
Yep.
He said I'd have come apart.
You're a funny fella. And that's the truth.
You'd be laughing like we are if you'd have seen me running around this house like a chicken with my head cut off trying to get everything done in 40 minutes since we've been home.
Oh, yeah. We come flying through the door. She starts telling me this and what this and that. Like, okay. Well, we got to do the most important things first. We knock them out real quick. Come in, fed the dog, fed the cat. I tried downloading a couple things to put on here. Then she gets on me about, why do you always wait to the last minute to try to load these things up? But
No, to even look for a topic, it's like the last 15 minutes before we go live, he tries to find something.
in my defense, we've been up at her grandma's all weekend, and I have tried taking the computer up there and running off the phone.
And it does not work.
It don't work at all. Even going outside. Kind of feels like some of y'all, well, most everybody generation old enough, but you remember the days when the cell phones were starting to come out, and around here we would like stand in the bed of the pickup truck or stand on top of the pickup truck to try to get a signal. That's kind of about the way it is up there to find a signal. But once again, that's the highest part of our county, literally, in elevation.
Makes no sense.
Can't get a signal up there.
Here we are.
I'm done.
Anyway.
It's
been a long day. No beekeeping. We literally haven't stopped in 3 weeks now. 2 weeks. So I don't even remember how many.
Well, we're going to try. We think we got this Saturday where we can do things here at home, and we really need to go on Lance's down there and rummage through what he's got too. But Lord willing, we get into that now. I did go this morning, and the trap out, it ain't work. They was using the little funnel piece as an entrance. They done figured out how to squirm their little tails through there. And so I just pulled everything down. Pulled the trap part off. Got the old nuke box, took everything off the tree. We did leave the sign up because it is out of school. And we got to get back in contact with the coach and all that to see if they want us to now come up here and remove them, because y'all, it has turned into a pretty big colony.
Yeah. There's a lot of bees.
Yeah. And the ones of you that watched it, whenever we stuck the trap on that tree, if you remember, they had like a top entrance and a bottom entrance where they was running down the tree. Kind of reminded you like a waterfall, the way they was coming running down that tree. But
Because what wouldn't they like fly and land at the top entrance? Like they were gonna go in there. And then they walked down the tree to the bottom entrance, and that's where they were really going in and out.
Yeah, because the field bees coming home, like she's saying, would hit the top, run down. It was about I don't know, a foot, 18 inches to the main entrance. Go in down there. Then the ones that was ready to head back out to the fields. That's what the top one was where they was exiting.
Yeah, it was strange.
They had them a good setup, but they propylized that off. There's no more top egress at all. But they have swole up, so there's no doubt that they had a McQueen come back on her mating flight, and apparently she is doing very well inside there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think about it, but I should have brought the endoscope.
Yeah, neither one of us thought that.
No. But they're doing good, y'all. So they got that going for them. We'll see. If they want us to get up there and get them, we'll do a video on it. It's going to be a interesting little job right there, getting that bunch.
Yeah.
Especially me never being able to use a chainsaw before, so we'll see how that goes. As a joke.
Oh,
Yeah.
what you talking about? She never used a chainsaw before.
She's tired, y'all.
I'm exhausted. Tired is an understatement.
But I'm going to rummage through here and say howdy to everybody right quick. Like I said, hope everybody's doing good. The first day of the week.
Yeah. Not ready for the second day yet.
Once again. Let's see here. Got Miss Deb, the son, Bunny. Keith Spillman up there. Mr. Mike Conley on the fishing bank.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Tangway. Matt Morris Homestead, good to see you, bro. Brian and Jim, good to see y'all. Shane, Wetlands Honey Bee Company.
Another Mike. I can't believe you do use Mike.
All right, appreciate you, brother, coming over with. Mr. Randy, there, Tar Hill. Hey.
Sarah and Maritza.
How about you?
I think that was it for Ed.
Ed, good to see you, bro. Ed had a good long live last night, 3 hours and some change.
Yeah, he did.
Pastor Larry, Miss Jan, Miss Leon.
Hey, Miss Leona. Well, all of y'all, but we just always like to say hey to Miss Leona.
Let's see, Brian saying this weekend at our market, we bought 2 types of yogurt, some kind of bread.
Okay. Brian, that's a new one on me. What is challah bread? Yeah, Ed, I'm not getting in another bucket. Not even this exhausted and he can't talk me into getting in another bucket. Hey, James. Yeah, getting in another bucket. Not happening.
Mr. Mike, let me put you.
This sounds like a good problem to have in a way, Mr. Mike.
Yes, sir.
He's got to send you a picture, Mr. Mike, of our horizontal hive. I don't remember if you were in here last week when we were talking about it or not, but one of them, we've got one colony we opened up the whole horizontal hive for. And they're so full in there, they're bearding like, what'd you say, like a volleyball size circumference on the outside. Almost every evening, they're having a beard like that.
I was able to that's one of the things I've uploaded. And I'll show y'all that in just a second. Yeah, I got it uploaded. So I'll show y'all that in just a second. Yeah, once again, that little bunch, they are doing wonderful.
Mhm.
Went out there yesterday morning before we had to head up to the country, and
Early yesterday.
there's a little spot on the bottom of it where they're coming out of the entrance that it looks like I guess the best way to explain it, they're clustered up, but it looks like a little mini swarm. And I was running my hands in there and just grabbing bees off that cluster and just pretty well talking to them and looking at them. And I'd set them on the other spot where they're propolizing the spot we thought we was helping them. But set them on the other entrance, basically. And Bud, they went to scurrying on the inside in there. And I'm like, this is just right next door. Why ain't y'all just going in? But
I'm not laughing.
when you get there,
Pastor Larry or Miss Jan said, Hannah, Miss Leona said, tell you hey, and she likes you too.
yeah,
She's a mess. I'm telling you what, I would love to get her, Miss Leona, and my grandma in a room.
Lord mercy.
The stories we would hear, y'all. I would love to do that one day.
Like
Maybe get y'all on a video chat.
their grandma got some pretty funny tales.
Yeah, she
Uh, but yeah,
I just I love hearing the old stories. Like, I don't think I'll ever outgrow that. Oh, Keith, that made me think of some. I found a new recipe for some fried apple pie.
uh,
I'm gonna try out. If I get them to turn out, I'm gonna make a video on because they look really good.
good old fried apple pies, but you can't beat them babies if they good homemade ones.
I made some peach ones one time that were good, and then one of he's more like a grandpa to me, but him and his wife have gone to our church for forever now. But they're originally from Louisiana. We talk about them all the time on here, but he gave me this nifty little deal he found to roll pinch the crust shut or whatever, put the filling in and you just run this little doodad over it and it gives you that pretty little crust and puts it together. So I've been looking for a reason to try that out again.
You need to try that out again with them pie thing.
And I want to do apple this time instead of peach.
Appreciate you, Keith.
Yeah.
Y'all throw some
You're
more
right.
recipes out there and I'll take note.
Yeah.
But for you Louisiana folks, this gentleman is a Quibido. So he's sure enough Louisiana.
Yes. I can cook my soul. Cook.
My word, yeah. This man, he showed me genius, absolutely genius. We was over there one day doing some work for him, and the man was making us breakfast. And I seen he was taking mason jar lids, the screw-on part, not the lid part, but the screw-on part. All right, he had like 4 of those in the cast iron pot or cast iron pan. And I was like, Brother Larry, I said, what in the world are you doing with them mason jar lids with your eggs? He said, hold on, boy, I'll show you. And he cracked them eggs, and what he was doing is keeping them eggs together instead of them getting all over the inside of the cast iron pot. So he was breaking the egg, boom, dumping them in the lid part,
The ring.
yeah, and cooking his eggs that way. And I was like, Brother Larry, that is genius, my man.
He said, you're welcome. I had a scoop of ice cream and a little drizzle of honey on top. I'm praying we have a honey pool by then. That might be my celebration. If we get a honey pool next weekend, I'm making some fried pies to celebrate. First honey we pulled on our own in 2 years.
I like that. That's recorded too. So
Mm-hmm.
I can go back. I
Oh,
got proof.
yeah, what?
What?
I don't know if you remember or not, but I made that apple pecan honey cake thing.
Out of that book.
Cookbook. But well, Ed's comment put creamed honey on those pies as a glaze. But for that thing I made, it called for you like get the liquid heavy whipping cream, and I think I mixed like one of the little cartons and a cup of honey and just whip it with a electric beater until it made like a Cool Whip honey type icing I put on it. I bet that would be really good on it. This ain't a good start for beekeeping.
Mm-mm.
We got way away from that.
Well, we'll get back on in a second. Mr. Rooster Cookman. Oh, gotta get my Mr. Russell Cookman there. I know he's yakking with Ed, but for any of y'all interested in jars and all that stuff. Mr. Russell, do you have the website or what the company is where you get your jars and stuff from? Put in there for folks if you don't mind. But
I don't know if it'll let him put a link in because he doesn't have a link.
uh
Well, hey, Haley.
maybe you put at least maybe put the name in there, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's a good deal, though, because Ed was just talking about he's got a lot of cream honey in no jar.
While we yakking real quick, let's see if I can get this thing to turn up on. This is that little 2-frame nuke, y'all. It's just 51 seconds of a clip, but show y'all how well 2 frames have went to 30 frames. Now it was about 6:30 in the morning before everybody started heading out on the daily chores. But yeah, once again, we proud of that little girl. She's doing well. What
Telling
else?
Mr. Mike, I know that feeling for sure. And he said, heck, I'm so broke, I might be selling honey in Dixie cups.
With some foil over the top. And there you go. And you want to show your little clip real quick? Mhm.
Did you put it on?
What you recorded. 7-second piece.
Yeah, the one that I said on Ed's last night, I was going to try to upload it, but I never slowed down long enough to upload it today. Yeah, if you got it on there. The one where I was saying I got like 5 seconds of Tim acting like a goober.
It just, we got a little piece we'll put together for the one.
Here he goes, y'all. You can't even hear what you said. He was telling me, and I'm gonna haul butt. Are you serious?
Gone with the wind.
Hey, look, DC, we have literally offered that discount for people at our church. He said the bring your own jar discount.
Yes, Mr. Mike, there you go.
All right, so DC, I was reading some of your comments, but I don't think I went all the way back. Found swarm cells in my third over winter. But what were you saying? Something about you were going to have to make some new singles?
Oh, there's a few new things that they said. Bad.
So your bees are just, they're a lot busier growing than making honey, it sounds like, this year. Steve Amos better put on that brain bucket.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Okay, here's something that was on my mind today, and we kind of go through, discuss, whatever. Then, if not, I got some, or we'll open up chat. Nobody comes in. We'll rummage through the old bee journal for a minute. But going to take okay, let me put this, I guess, as a highlight. Doing trap outs, do you think, and I'll explain in a second why I think that there's the potential to cause this or to cause a disease. But doing these trap outs, do you think that any type of disease or potential for some kind of foul brood could happen within the colony? And here's my reasoning why. Whenever I got up on that ladder today or this morning and I was pulling that trap out, at the comb portion of it and in a few other places, there were a good line of dead bees that they could not drag out. So if you allow a trap out to go on for, we left ours up there, it's been up for 6 weeks about.
Wow. Yeah.
So 5 to 6 weeks we've had that thing up there. Could there be the chance that if a trap out takes several weeks, that in between that you could have the potential for some type of disease or a foul brood to come on, especially if the nurse bees or whoever they are cutting out dead larvae that may have something wrong with them, whether it's just they didn't make it for some reason and the bees picked up on it, or in their smelling and senses that they pulled it out, but yet with them not being able to dispense or carry off the dead critters, you begin to have a pile up there. And natural, you're going to have decomposition, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, that's a good point, DC. He said first you end up with dead bees inside the tree or cavity. If those aren't cleaned up, they'll rot like anything else. But that's what I was kind of wondering about. But you also have the dynamic of the cavity's floor, all the natural flora and bugs that feed off it or live in it. But it does seem like it would at least raise the possibility of something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if necessarily foul brood, but
some kind of disease in
Mhm.
there. I don't know. I just got to thinking about it whenever I looked up there and I seen that, and I was like, well, you got decomposition no matter how you look at it or whatever the cause was, whether it was just an old bee, she come in and that was the end of her lifespan. Well, they got to get her out, but yet they have this accumulation in there that they can't get out due to
Mhm.
the trap up there.
The flip saying anytime you stress a colony, you can have trouble. And I'm sure at least for a minute that was a lot of stress on the colony.
In the
Learning
beginning.
something new. Mhm.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you could tell the stress come like immediately whenever we put it up there and got everything sealed off. We thought, but for the most part, the bees collected, and you can see them. I guess like in a panic mode, trying to figure out a way to get into the colony right there. And I know that's going to exist also with the ones trying to get out.
Mr. Mike, the gunny, that had to be the longest question in history. I done forgot the start of it. But he said it was.
I'll call you.
Carl was talking about his honey flow's fixing to start.
It's crazy because we're at the point now where we've pretty well leveled out, no swarms, or they have very much slowed down. And our honey flow, well, the tallow is on, but I'm going to say we're about midways through all that. Once the tallow ends on out, unless I didn't mention this for the ones of you that wasn't on air live last night, but riding the perimeter on my Hartley A. Davidson, mm-hmm, uh,
Yeah.
one portion of the fence line, pretty well that whole 10 acres of the property line is privet hedge. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a few oaks and things like that mixed in there, but for the
Most part.
yeah, it's slam full of some big privet. We already know that it bloomed one time this season. Well, when I was around there, free as a bird, I got to looking, and sure enough, that privet is fixing to bloom again. Because you got some portions where it's got, we was thinking, like talking with Philip Morris about it. So, well, Tim, it's probably what you're seeing is fixing to produce that fruit or berry on there. And I was like, well, yeah, you're probably right on that because we done had our flow and so on and so forth. But we have had a whole bunch of rain lately. Then riding down there yesterday, I seen, I was assuming was the berry or the fruit coming on. Then I got to looking up at the top portion of the trees that get more sun, and there were brand new blooms opening up. So I don't know if we're going to get another privet run or it's just going to be,
I love that here.
yeah, but we'll see. But it's great hearing everybody starting to get on their flows, working on their splits and swarms. And folks in North Country, I know y'all are finally happy to be able to actually work your bees now and get things rolling.
Yes.
But
I'm thinking Jack and Danae's season must be really kicking off. Because I haven't been seeing them get the inbox chats till like late evening. If they're out working a good bit.
well, I mean, hearing everybody kind of talk and chirp here in these chats that y'all are having a good season up here in the North Country.
Mm-hmm. quite a few. I know Tom put a picture on the book of faces the other day. Got the boxes stacked on their house. Like he's making some honey this year.
That's good, y'all. I know y'all had a good run last year too, but Lord willing, it'll be even better this year. Let's see. You want to do the prayer list and we'll open up the chat and just kind of
You can get it.
go from there. Yep.
Mm. Thank you.
Let me get you the
You're so sweet.
Yeah. All right, y'all. If there's anybody we need to add to, take away from, you let us know, or if you just got a prayer request of any means. But what's the other word I'm trying to say?
Okay.
No. Go ahead. Anyway, I'll think of it at the end.
Alright. We got Mr. Mark Miller, Ed and his wife and his dad, the Dirt Roosters dad, Mr. Pat, Miss Deb, Grammy Lisa, there's her son, two granddaughters, and an unspoken request. Bob and his family, Tom's wife and his mother-in-law, Bob's friend Jason Cooper, Mr. Donnie, Mike Tangway's wife, Miss Cindy, Miss Carla Green, DC's parents, David Hoskins' granddaughter, Emma, baby Luca, and the family that got him his blessing. Canada Brad and Deanna Wheeler is Philip's mentee's best friend and her son Reed. And then let's see, Philip's mama, his cousin Lorinda, his mentee Rachel Wilson, and then her Rachel's sister Amanda and Rachel's niece Riley and her family are on here. Philip's friend BJ and his wife, the Jennifer Brown family, Russell Amon's wife, Miss Brenda, Bobby's Bees and his family, Minnesota Mike, his brother Dave, and his cousin, I think, yeah, his cousin Mark Moholt, Kennedy Bowman, Aaron Frederick. We got Mr. Larry and Miss Sherry Gandy and Mr. Larry's mama, the Cheryl Faulkner family, Keith Larimore. And y'all, he said in the chat last night he's going to have another eye surgery coming up. So definitely remember him. I think he said in July?
August.
August, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see, the Dirt Roosters in-laws, the Paris family, Sandy with Icy Mountain Honey, her family, Creative with Tuck, Pieces of April, the Pescatarian, the Montalbano family, Bruce with his bees, his granddaughter Unsong, Steve Amos's brother, Danae's grandmother, Spanky, the Headley Hives, let's see, Israel and the war going on. All the storm victims around. Jegs Farms, his wife is on here. Sean Balterse's wife. Mr. Ron, who is one of the landowners of one of Blaine's bee yards. let's see, PJ from Hanley's Homestead, Stafford Mike, the family of the 4 police officers killed in Charlotte, Shabu, the beekeeper that had all the really, really bad storm damage to his bees. Don't have a name, but a teenager in the town TJ lives in, him and his family. The Acorn Stash, the guy we watch on YouTube, his dad. Keith Spillman from Half Tracks and Honeybees, his wife Michelle and her family. Ricky Rourke, and then another, like, we've been praying for him for the bone spur in his foot, giving him so much trouble. But then Spanky said last night, didn't know what was going on, but they had to go to the hospital for something. So remember them too. Wasn't there somebody else we were supposed to add?
No, we got Larimore on there, Ricky. And if there is somebody, let us know.
Yeah, yeah.
Perhaps he told us in Ed's Live or something like that. But DC did say he needs to add one. And add one, 29 Homestead. So he and his wife seem to be having a difficult time of it. Not sure what the issue may be. Just feel the need. They need to be on the prayer list.
Okay.
Absolutely, bro.
I feel like there's more in this thing that I didn't write down.
uh, I'm not sure. We'll think of it whenever we end the deal. Philip said he thinks Reed is doing better, but he's got to check in on things.
Okay, I sure hope so.
And I'm gonna bounce back up here because, bro, it's a big deal for everybody. But glad things are going great for you. Old Matt here, seen that going through the comments. But he said he had 6 queens,
Good deal.
and all of them are laying. So awesome job,
That
brother,
is
and congratulations on that, for real. Then Miss Sarah says she's been busy showing off bees. She's got youth camp this week.
Oh,
Then,
okay, Grayson. Mr. Funny.
honestly, Brian, I've thought about calling them and see if we can get them on. So now that they're in here, we put them on the spot. Shoot us an email with some contact info there, Jack and Danae. Well, maybe
Oh, did they make it?
they can join us one evening and we'll see what's
Dude, that
going
would
on
be
up there.
fun. Jeez.
Okay, get back on my spot. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I was gonna holler at Grayson. Good to see you, bud. Somebody, Square
Yes.
Bees, and
Yes.
who else moves it in here? Yeah, but let me do the guest thing. Yeah, I
Dude,
wanna.
that's awesome too, DC.
Mhm.
Just hold your finger down. It's not near as complicated as you make it.
She did it, not me.
Yeah, I did it.
Tell me I'm hitting the wrong button.
Well, you were hitting the wrong button. My bad, y'all. It's in there. It's pinned.
Oh, okay. Let me get out of it.
Please.
Right in it. But there it is, yeah.
I was trying to read Mr. Mike's comment. So, yeah, seriously, Lee. But it's really not as complicated as he makes it.
It just don't work as quick as I want it to. That's the
Uh-huh.
problem.
He's making fun of me. Apparently, all they heard was it's not near as complicated, and I hit the button. But whatever, we're back. Okay, it's not like he's never done it before.
Welcome
First
to our
time
show.
for everything.
Oh Lord, that ain't the first time on ours. Y'all knew that.
No, for me doing it.
I'm surprised it came back. I was like, oh no.
Here we go.
And hit the wrong one, but thankfully it still said live, and I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
told you it's been a long weekend. And then I hit the wrong button.
Wrong button.
It's okay. We've been doing this all day.
There they are, Jack and Danae.
Hey.
Or that's whole comment. No.
It's probably this one not catching up. Yeah. Hey, y'all can judge me. It's cool. I don't care.
Do you have?
It's okay.
Never mind. We got you on the Book of Faces. We'll contact you. There's
Oh, yeah.
Jack and Danae. I don't know if y'all was in here or not, but Brian there from Flower Street made a suggestion that we should try to have y'all as guests one evening. And we'd love to have y'all as guests one evening
Yeah.
if you're up for it. So, but we're not going to put you on the spot tonight and go, y'all going to be our guest or not. We'll shoot you a message in the Book of Faces.
For a minute first.
Yeah. But, Lord willing, next few weeks I can slow down a little bit on our end and reach out to a few more folks and try to get some guests in.
She said, geez, Brian.
Put the woman and the man
Put them on the spot.
No pressure. No pressure.
Hey, I was trying to read Mr. Mike's comment.
Well, you got it.
I tried a test this year.
Your turn.
Yeah. You're
Go ahead.
just on a roll today. The summer solstice queens are making more honey than all the rest at a rate of more than 2 to 1. Wasn't he telling us about that on the phone?
Well, he was telling us about how well summer solstice queens were doing.
Yeah.
I can't find.
Weren't you saying they were outweighing the other queens too? Like they were kicking butt in the bees and honey department?
I ain't even looked it up, but when is the actual solstice, or have we passed it already? I ain't even paid the weather no attention.
I don't know. I would be lying if I said I knew.
Sometime this month, I guess, maybe. Be in June. That was rude, Jasper.
That was right.
And we're on TV.
Okay, they're saying the 21st of this month. 21st or 22nd.
Okay. All right.
There's more people saying the 21st, but then Mr. Mike said the 20th. So somewhere in there.
It's going to be in June. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's all I need to know.
And there's Mr. Dan.
Mr. Dan Weaver, good to see you, brother. Woo! Can't wait to get to Gettysburg up there with you one day.
Yeah. He missed me hitting the wrong button.
Yeah, you did. She smashed the button this time.
I did. Catch it on the replay. I'll have to wait. Oh, the 21st. I thought you meant today was your wedding anniversary. I was going, man, you should have opened with that, Sarah. But the summer solstice is her anniversary this year.
Well, good. Hope y'all have a blessed evening on that. Richard, that's kind of fun. I need to find that old thing. Y'all remember when the TV used to go off and do that? Testing in the old timey days?
We do. But both
Yeah.
Russells are in here. Um,
Well,
oh, now Lee's saying it's June 20th. So how do we know for sure?
I'm going to have to fact check that. Yep.
You ask Giggle.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Dan said, are you coming to camp with us, Gunline?
Well, we can mosey past there too. Because we'd be going pretty well right past
Mosey
it.
up to Pennsylvania.
Well, we get the chance.
It's like, that's a bit of a mosey.
Was it about 20, 22 hours the way I drive up there or something?
At least.
Yeah.
He said never fact check Lee. Lee is like the Chuck Norris of information in these lives.
That's what they put that in there.
Mr. Mike.
Yeah, yeah. We'll be reaching out to you on something too as well. Lee. 15th, I think around the 15th of this month, we're going in halves with Johnny Tennessee Mountain Bees on this StreamYard on the paid version last year, and talked to Johnny and all that, and we just kind of made the decision of, since we're not packed out with people on the chats, 10 people bombarding coming in here, we'll have 3 or 4 of you jumping in from time to time, that it was it's really a waste of money right now to renew the StreamYard plan and pay the $240 for the year and so on and so forth. So what we're going to be doing is dropping back to the free plan on the StreamYard. So there'll be a few things that's different on there, but pretty much everything for the most part is going to stay the same for the most part. But
that means a whole new set of buttons for us to.
I mean, it's the same buttons.
Yeah.
Everything on there is just, you can't like upload certain stuff. Just a few little nitpicking deals, but we're not doing a whole bunch of uploading. Like I said, we don't have 25 people knocking on the door as soon as we hit the guest button, so there's really no sense.
People just kick back and watch the train wreck on Gunline Live.
Well, that's fine. I'm all right with that. We appreciate you watching.
Yeah.
Whether you're here for the train wreck or get some information out of something somewhere.
Most of the time, I feel like our channel is like the NASCAR. You just watch it to see.
Come and watch the wrecks.
Yeah.
But hey, that's fun too.
Hey, we'll make it tonight. One day, if we ever hit the road like that, we will definitely swing by and pick y'all up. I was telling her we really want to plan a road trip one day to just go meet everybody. That's what she was saying. We want to too. Y'all just swing by and pick us up.
Oh, yeah, we'd love to be able to just make a trip and mosey around and see everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Buy them memberships. Put them stickers in there. Really, that's what's going help us get the Slidell, y'all. Everybody
Yeah,
that's been getting the memberships and stuff like that, we're saving that money back to be able to buy our tickets and do all that stuff to go to, Lord willing, everything works out. We'll be going to the Slidell conference and
I
meet
think
several of
we're
y'all.
only going to get to go for that Saturday, though. I don't think work is going to slow down enough for us to go Friday and stay the night.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we'll be able to spend
Wednesday,
Saturday.
yeah, but either, like you said, we'll at least get Saturday.
Yep. Because that'll pay for tickets, fuel, get us a little bite to eat. We're gonna try to stick back a few dollars of our work, I guess. And,
Mm-hmm.
maybe if we see, grab a box or equipment or something like that over there at the
Mm-hmm.
conference. But main thing, we just want to go.
Just meet everybody in person.
We're looking forward to meeting Mr. Bob Finney, meeting Mr. Jeff Horchoff, uh, seeing old Lee again.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Uh,
hoping Miss Renee comes and we get to meet her in person.
yeah, is Renee coming with you, Lee? But whoever else is going to the Slidell conference,
Mr. Bobby,
we want
did
to.
you say him? Didn't Ricky come in this room?
I don't know if Ricky and them's coming or not.
Or
We're
we're
going.
going to meet up with him at the Shelby County thing.
Yeah, we're gonna meet with Ricky.
Lee.
Oh, Lee,
He
come on,
just
man.
put out 10. Oh my gosh.
God love you.
We appreciate it, Lee,
Yep.
very much.
Lee says, I'm getting them to Louisiana. I don't care. I'm getting them to Louisiana.
Lord willing, we will be, for
Mhm.
sure. Are you coming to Slidell, Russell? He said I might get to meet y'all. Russell Amon.
Awesome. Yeah. As soon as we get closer, we'll try to get you to mention in the comments, because I'll be done forgot between here and
Yeah.
the conference who I was going. But put it in there now so give me an idea. But as we get closer, yeah, we'll get you to mention, hey, we're going to be out there Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, or whatever day is. And we definitely want to see folks and shake hands and
Mm-hmm.
fellowship in person for a little while.
Yeah. The redfish too?
It is. I ain't seen redfish this evening.
Oh, one of the memberships went down.
But he's in here. He's just in the background, maybe.
Oh no. He said I'd have to tie her up and put her in the car. Don't do that, Lee. Don't get yourself in trouble. But we would love to meet her one day.
She's still upset about the other day, is she?
Oh no.
She said, I don't want nothing to do with bees, bee related, nothing.
She done.
Uh, well,
I hope she tries again with you sometime, though.
let me get the old computer here. Got two subjects.
See?
Yeah. One of them is quite lengthy, and that'll probably pretty well we can discuss and keep topic of some sort going instead of just going,
What do we do?
well, but
Yeah. I'm about to rain dead tonight anyway. I'm glad you got that.
now I forget what. Okay, this is volume 28, number 11 of the Bee Journal, and I think this is around 1889.
Mm-hmm.
But this is where I picked up on. We was talking in Ed's live yesterday. Somebody had asked. I think it was. I know Catherine asked, and somebody else asked in Ed's live yesterday about introducing queens,
Mm-hmm.
but taking and daubing just a little bit of honey on her back,
And,
like between her, where you would mark her for what year queen she is. But putting the honey on there, introducing her that way. That's kind of where I picked up on this, but it's the methods of introducing queens. Let me get myself right here. What?
You getting yourself out. How much were the tickets for sliding? Like 120 or 130?
Between 120 and 130. No, 120 and 150 a piece, I think it was. For the weekend.
Yeah, Joey, I'm not positive on that. But it was right at 130 a piece for a, like you said, a weekend pass. And I think it was like, it was real close to the same price, maybe like 110 for a day pass.
I think so. Lee, can you fact check that for the man, please, sir? If you got them on. But yeah, like to see you there too, old Joe. We
Phillips got your fact check.
what had happened?
He said summer solstice is 8:51 p.m. Universal Time on June the 20th. That's 3:51 p.m. Texas time. There, Buttons. You can skip the fact check and ride the Harley and Davidson.
Yes. Thank you, sir. I greatly appreciate that.
Yeah.
And noted.
Yeah, Philip said he thought it was 130 or so too for the Slidell tickets.
Okay.
It's right in there somewhere. It wasn't too bad. Okay.
And according to the, which I hate Google Maps, but just getting an estimate on driving time, because all we got to do is hit 10.
Yeah.
But it said about 2.5 hours or so for us to get over there.
Is it like just the other side of Gulfport? Or not too far?
It's well, Slidell. Yeah, it's Slidell probably about an hour, I guess, from Gulfport. We'll look see, not right back there.
Oh, Steve said we were correct. 130.
There we go.
Got that ironed out.
But yeah, we're excited to meet everybody.
Be our first vacation since we went to Biloxi to meet Bob and Amy. And that was what? At the end of October? Because we went to the fair the same weekend.
I think so. Uh-oh.
He's hitting buttons now, y'all.
I lost my whole spot.
It all looks the same.
Okay, here we go. Bingo.
What is on this?
What?
Specialist.
Specialist, thinker, enthusiast.
Enthusiast.
Mm-hmm. What, you want to read that?
Oh, I was just trying to read it. No, you talk about what you were saying with the plane.
Okay, I'll just glance over to see if there's anything. But okay, methods of introducing queens. A few days after the swarm season was over, I noticed one of my colonies of bees showing the peculiar actions of one without a queen. Thinking to examine it in a day or two, it slipped my memory and was forgotten. 3 or 4 weeks afterward, I noticed it was not storing pollen when colonies in normal conditions should be storing it plentifully. I examined it, and it was not queenless. Having but a few minutes to spare, I smoked it thoroughly until the bees were stupefied, and then smoked the bees in all the small boxes and shook out the bees and queen at the entrance of the hive. The next day, I examined the colony, finding eggs, showing the experiment was successful. Another colony of well-run hybrids cast a swarm which was returned and the queen destroyed. Some 8 days after it swarmed again, the swarm was hived and all the bees were driven from the colony the next morning. The frames overlooked or looked over, queen cells destroyed, returning the bees driven out, also the swarm destroying the queens. That's just got me all kind of confused the way he just put all that. Probably everybody else too. Another colony of well-run hybrids cast a swarm which was returned and the queen destroyed. Some 8 days after it swarmed again, the swarm was hived and all the bees were driven from the colony the next morning. The frames looked over, queen cells destroyed, returning the driven bees back. Also, the swarm destroying the queens. A laying queen was dabbed with honey and run into the bees, being readily accepted by the bees. Okay, so he's all right. He's running them out of the colony because he's thinking they're queens.
Mhm.
So he's smoking the yin out of them, running all the bees out. Then he's taking his queen, dabbed her with a little bit of honey real quick, and while everybody's on the outside trying to get fresh air, he introduces that new queen in there too. Okay. Let me get to the top here. Within standing, I overlooked several cells of full-grown queens, which were destroyed and thrown out a few days after. Another of which another one which cast a large swarm was absconded, was treated the same as number 2, except the queen and a handful of bees were shaken on the brood frames before the swarm was returned at the entrance. This was also a success and saved at least a week's time the colony would have been without laying the queen, which it would have lost it being left to hatch a queen. This dude got me all kind of confused.
Which it would have lost had it been left.
Okay. Probably one having some knowledge of bees would be successful in introducing either by thoroughly smoke plan or by dabbing the queen with honey, provided the bees were driven out in the latter case and the queens dropped in at the entrance when the swarm was returning. Still, I also give the experiments for what they are worth and would not advise beginners to follow them unless they had had plenty of queens to experiment with. And this was written by the National Stockmen back then, whoever they were.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty big group of big, good guys.
You missed a happy comment
What?
for you in between.
What?
Sarah sold her first queen this week.
Congratulations,
All
Sarah.
by herself.
I bet she was happy of her happy hive.
Mm-hmm. Moving on up. Jasper's gonna wake up now.
Let me get back up here to this other one. Maybe this one is written a little bit better.
Yeah, some of them are just really hard to understand the way the words
Where our English has changed since it was back in old timey days.
drastically.
And the enunciation of said English.
It's definitely.
Yeah. Now this one is quite lengthy, but it was on the queen trade. And I guess I should have looked up, unless some of y'all know what this is, the hamburger in the queen trade. I'm going to say that's kind of like, I don't know,
I don't think that's what that's saying.
hamburger,
Hamburger.
hamburgery in the queen trade. But it's got to be something to it because Henry Alley wrote it. And Henry Alley was right there with Day C.C. Miller, whoever the dude Doolittle is.
Didn't you do that whole article on the alley method?
Yeah, the alley
Mm-hmm.
cages and his swarm trap. I don't see why that ain't something that isn't sold still nowadays. Is his swarm traps? That would be just genius and a great tool for people to have during swarm season. You just put it right on the front of your box right there, and whenever they go to swarm out, bam, you got your queen, you got your drones. The only ones that can escape out of it are the workers in the bunch that is going out in the swarm. But the ones that are actually able to escape, your little females, all right, all they're going to do is go out a certain way, turn around and come right back to that trap that sits right on the box. So
Mm-hmm.
you're not losing a swarm ever. So when you know it's all right, if you're out there calculating, I think this colony is fixing to swarm them.
Mm-hmm.
But you leave and go to work, and just like our luck, okay,
As soon as you pull out the driveway, here they go.
yeah, they go. But you can't catch them because there's, you know, like us or for Ed, they're 60 feet up in the daggone tree up there. And for some of us, we can pull our lead dispensers out,
Mm-hmm.
get them out of the tree. But some folks live within the confines of the city limit, and it's frowned upon.
Tim's trying to take the fun out of it.
Out of swarming.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Mike, I don't know if you've seen it. So you need to listen to Bob Denny tell about them switching 93 hives, all queens pulled and dropped in a different hive, and all immediately accepted.
Did he make a video of that, Mr. Mike, or is that just something y'all was chit chatting about one
So he
day?
said you need to listen to Benny, listen to Bob Denny tell about them
Okay,
doing it.
I will mosey through, and anybody I know, because there were several of y'all asking questions that are first year or two trying to get in and figure out on doing your queens and when to introduce them and how to introduce them with success. So Mr. Benny's doing it
Didn't
and not have an issue. What?
DC, is it common for bees to swarm before the swarm cells are capped?
Well, I mean,
It's-
close to it, I'd probably say, yeah, maybe so. Within a day or two of being capped, I imagine they swarm, especially if there's a bunch of them in there. Then they know something's going to take. And I don't see why they wouldn't if they're, especially if they're a big, healthy colony and not just
He said it's very common.
a nuke trying to swarm. Whatever we go.
Okay, and Larimore says, I was told they swarmed shortly after they were loaded.
Well, I mean, they know confirmation. Okay, look, we got,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to talk to you in old redneck terms of how I think they would think. But look,
Y'all got what you need? There you go.
yeah, y'all ready to go? And it would be interesting if you knew for sure, like, who was it? William at Dry Cut. He had got that little clip of the bees, the workers, I guess, agitating that queen.
Mm-hmm.
And the way he had thought what they was doing, they was encouraging her with that agitation to look, it's getting close to time to swarm.
Oh,
But something like that, you would have to be in the box all the time, I guess,
yeah.
to really study and watch the bees on how they act and communicate right before they do swarm. You know, you would have to catch it at the moment of they was doing this 15 minutes before they swarmed, and now they're swarming. But uh,
Brian, I'm screenshotting all these comments you're putting in with the articles to go read. So I can go check them out when we slow down for a minute.
Brian slinging out the info.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate you, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I'm screenshotting the comments so I don't lose them.
Well, it's not only help for us, but anybody else out there wanting to know. And the ones of you watching that ain't in the chat, chit chatting, you know, if it's something that has been going across your mind of, well, what should I be doing on this?
Rodney Middleton
Bam.
just put out another swarm video. Sunday afternoon swarm catch.
That dude just
That man
constantly.
is amazing the way he catches swarms.
Constantly catching them swarm. I tell you, I'm not going to read all that lengthy mess on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But there was a shorter one on.
You make me dizzy scrolling that fast.
Look at it.
Mm-mm.
All right. Get close. Get close.
Yeah, Larimore, that's why I didn't answer that, because I wasn't positive, because I knew we've had cap cells with the queen still there before.
Mm-hmm. The same thing like when we was at Lansing in that front swarm.
Yeah.
There was 4, 5, probably 6 queen cells in that 5/5. Yeah, cap. And
They were just then swarming. But you got another one picked up?
I think it's just a smaller bit. But we kind of discussed the black bee versus the Italian bee.
Mm-hmm.
And the way the topic in here, I believe it is more of kind of like more of a native honeybee. Even though they say we didn't have honeybees until
Columbus brought them or something.
Columbus. He brought them over here on the old wooden ship of diversity.
You really just said that out loud.
Some of y'all get that. It's
Moving on.
moving on. Yeah.
Moving on.
Black versus Italian bees. I do not like to hear some people hacking away continually at the poor little black or native bee. Why is it? Question mark. They have nothing else to write about, or have they ever tried any other than the fine golden Italians? Sounds like he's a little partial there. I have been producing honey for the market for nearly 30 years, and I think I know whereof I speak. Either my experience is not like others, or else I never had the good ones they write about so much. I have bought a good many Italian queens, and I think some of them ought to have been pure. I have tried the black and Italian bees side by side. In the spring, the Italians had the preference, but fall, my little black ugly fellows beat them all out and out, both in surplus and increase. But many say we do not want increase. Very well, I was simply testing them, and all I will admit that the blacks do enter the surplus cases more rapidly, cap their honey wider, and are more gentle to handle. Now, what are the advantages of the Italian over the black? And he's saying, oh, they gather, yeah. Oh, they gather so much more honey and protect their hives much better, some will say. Perhaps they do the latter, for I have some Italians that have been smoked until they are stupid before I can do anything with them. They are not pure, they are hybrids. Quotation marks in that one. Someone says, so they are, and as long as there is Italian blood in them, they will fight and protect their hives. It may be I have a good race of my own, for I have a number of colonies which have stored for me 120 pounds in 1 pound sections, and others over 130 pounds in larger sections. And I will compare my honey with that of anyone. I care not who, for quality and appearance. Some of these were prime swarms, others old qualities. Argyle, Wisconsin. But I don't think they put their name up there. I'm gonna have to look at what are they talking about, the black? Is that just a black Italian?
I don't know if that's the little native bee or whatever.
But technically, if we didn't have bees before the colony brought them over here, they're not native.
I'm not debating that.
You would have a feral native or a feral bee. Take out the native, period. We got to get it politically correct, because if not, somebody's going to fact check this.
Our heads here.
But
DC's asking, are they probably talking about the Carney, the three boys bees that here they used to say black German bees?
mm-hmm.
So is that like German versus Italian? What he's talking about there?
I'm going to say it never says like.
Mr. Dan says native bees are all solitary.
Okay. All right, so we count them out because they're not going to be in a colony and they're not bringing in buku amounts of honey. So I guess it's going to be safe to say or assume the black German bees
Mm-hmm.
and the Italian. Which I guess there's still some of the bloodline, I'm going to say, of that around here because ours are Italian muds for the most part. You go out there and you look in the colonies and you see orange and black banding on everybody. Well, whenever we start doing our open feeding around here and you get into that dirt, we've got a picture of one or two somewhere, and I think we made a little video of it. But we will get a chit. I'm talking about chit black honeybee. There won't be any orange or yellow anywhere on it. That joker will be just, like I say, jet black. So that's going to be part of that German bunch that has just, over the hundreds and hundreds of years, ended up becoming a feral bee around here. And they're just continuing their genetics year after year after year, like anything else would with their swarming. Because wasn't it that Italian? Was it the Italians and Germans that they sold up there in Central at the old? It used to be the largest apiary.
I think it's mostly Italians up there.
I had to go back and look at that. I think it was German. that they were selling along with the Italians up there. And if that be the case, we're not but a hop, skip, and a jump from where that used to be. By the way the crow flies, it's probably about 8 miles, so you could easily, throughout the
That's
years, you
not
know,
what the crow flies. Because it's only 11 miles from here to the north end of town on the
Oh,
highway.
yeah.
Mhm.
whatever, pretty close. Uh, what else?
That's your department. I'm
Okay.
just pushing the wrong buttons tonight.
Let me see. Let me see. Seemed like there was something else I was going to ask about.
Russell Copeman said look up solitary bees.
Okay. I know a lot of them, your solitary bees is going to be like your little mason bee and those little fellas like that. And there's, what's that other one? They kind of look like a little yellow jacket, like a mini yellow jacket, but they're not at all a yellow jacket. But they're one of the solitary bees around here too.
No,
I'll think of it too whenever we go turn it off.
yeah.
Uh, what in the world they call it?
Mm-hmm. Steve,
Well,
he said, y'all just need to change seats to see if that'll help with the buttons. Since we're both hitting the wrong ones tonight.
I'll tell you what, since we still got 30 minutes, and I guess I will read about this hamburgery in the queen trade, which it was pretty interesting to read, but it's for the ones of you that's got your carniolan and what else was in here? Italian. It was kind of the debate on back and forth on the purity of a genetic bee. But anyway, hamburger buggery in the queen trade. Mr. Henry Alley wrote this one. Mr. J.C. Robinson, on page 271, has given the readers of the American Bee Journal a very lively article on the above subject. The reflections on some of the noted breeders has attracted my attention. About the only point which I think is aimed directly at me is the most recent humbug is the puffing of yellow carniolans. Well, let us see how much hamburger there is in puffing the yellow carniolans. The first carniolan queen brought to America came to the Bay State Apiary. That was some 10 years ago. Of course, the imported queen was used for a breeding queen. As soon as there were plenty of carniolan drones reared from the imported queen, I had a fine lot of young carniolan queens to be mated. So there's something right there. Mr. Henry Alley was the man that brought these carniolan queens in here sometime back. Young queens. All right, carniolan queens reared enough drones from the imported queen, and I had a fine lot of young carniolan queens to be mated. This could not be done in the same yard with the Italians, and so these carniolan bees were removed to a yard where there were no other bees within a distance of more than 1 mile. The young queens were mated promptly, and in due time the young worker bees put in an appearance, and I was surprised to see yellow banded bees from every queen. Now this happened notwithstanding the fact that there were several thousand Carniolan drones in the same yard with the queens, had but few of the young queens produced that gave yellow bands. It would have been natural to suppose that they had mated with Italian drones, but no man of any experience with bees has the least idea that all these young Carniolan queens were mated to Italian drones from an apiary over a mile away, while there were so many Carniolan drones near the queens. Here, let me say that the imported mother did not produce one worker bee that had the faintest yellow band, but the young queens were very light colored, not yellow, a fact plainly indicating that there was some blood in them that was not Carniolan. Well, these bees swarmed so much that they were abandoned, and no more Carniolans were reared in my apiary until the year 1889. I then purchased of Andrews and Lockhart a full colony of as fine and well marked Carniolan bees as ever came into America. Not a bee in the colony that was not a typical Carniolan. Queens were reared from this colony, and the same methods to ensure pure mating was adopted as with the imported queen received in 1881. The result, however, was the same. I could not produce a pure Carniolan queen, or rather a queen whose bees were purely marked. I found that these bees could easily be bred to a pure golden yellow, clear yellow, or orange yellow. So selecting the light colored queens and drones, I soon produced the golden Carniolan bees. Now, can anyone tell the readers of the Bee Journal where the hamburger of yellow Carniolan bees comes in? Is it not the process of producing yellow Carniolan bees as simple as anything can be? Question. Does anyone else see any reason for cheating or swindling in this matter? Question. Is there any reason why anyone had mate dark Carniolan queens to Italian drones to produce yellow Carniolan bees? Question. Here's a problem Mr. Robinson to solve. In 1899, I had an order for some Italian queens to be mated to Carniolan drones, and Carniolan queens to be mated to Italian drones. In both cases, the progeny of these queens were handsome, yes, beautiful Italians, not one dark bee from either queen. Why was it that these queens did not produce what are called hybrid bees? Question. Simple for the reason that the yellow blood predominated. This is all there is about it. The Carniolan race of bees are the original yellow bees. As any reliable authority decided whether the Italian bee in their native country were produced by the Carniolan race, or that the yellow in the Carniolan came from the Italians. Question. As not a pure queen has ever come from Italian to America, that is, a queen all of whose worker progeny were three-banded, and those daughters were golden in color. It is safe to say that the bees in Italy are hybrids. Why is it that the Italians were degenerate in color and bred back to black bees, while the Carniolans will grow more yellow each succeeding generation? Question. Anyone can answer these questions. It is plain and evident. Why is it that everybody who rears the silver or dark Carniolan queens has the same trouble to produce pure Carniolan bees? How many queen breeders in this country can say that they have queens that will duplicate themselves? The black tint in the Italians will increase always, while on the other hand, the yellow in the Carniolan is as certain to come out more prominently each generation. It is nature in both cases. Mr. Robertson has much to say in the praise of some of these parties who sent out the first Italian queens. I paid a big price to some of the men mentioned for pure Italian queens, but not one, however, was pure. And from no high-priced queen purchase could I rear more than 25% of yellow queens. I do not claim that all these men were dishonest. I know they were not. They sent out the best queens that they could produce, and which at time were worth a big money paid for them, even though the queens were impure. Of the golden Carniolans, let me say one word further. Up to date, I have sent out about 500 golden Carniolan queens, and not one word has been said against them, while on the other hand, I have heard a good deal in their praise. One of the oldest queen breeders in the country to whom I sent a golden Carniolan queen, this has this to say of the new strand of bees. The golden Carniolan queen came to hand promptly and was safely introduced. I am well pleased with her, have begun breeding with her, and requeening my apiary. I have reared and sold many thousand Italian, Cyprian, and Holy Land queens, but never had one please me better than the golden Carniolan queen I received. And that was Mr. E.T. Flanagan from Bonneville, Illinois.
So,
Belleville, Illinois. Too many words,
mm,
but
really,
they gone.
a lot of
They dropped
people
it. No, we got more than what we have. We was at 44 when it started raising.
The chat where a lot of people
Oh,
are shit now.
I'm sorry, y'all.
My word.
But
You don't believe what I'm saying.
for you Carniolan lovers, y'all can thank Mr. Henry Alley for bringing them in here.
I was educated that
What?
humbuggery means a pretense or a sham. And then Ed put the long definition wherever it went. He said humbuggery is language, behavior, or ideas that are absurd and contrary to good sense. Dishonest talk, writing, or behavior that is intended to deceive people. So that makes more sense.
Well, appreciate you.
Darren, I think that one was like 1889. It was published.
If you go, for the ones of you that like to go back, if you go to Cornell University and type in American Bee Journal, whenever you put in American Bee Journal in the search bar, Darren, this was volume 28, number 11, on page 330 of that American Bee Journal. So Henry Alley brought these, had the first Carniolan shipped in.
I'm laughing at Mr. Dan. He said, "Bah humbug."
Well, I guess he was trying to say in a gentle way, I'm calling y'all out
I guess.
with your dishonesty.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to tell, which, I mean, that you still got this going on nowadays. If you got a big time queen breeder that's been making money hand over fist selling queens to people, that my queens are the best, because I mean we would say that too if we was doing a business. At my queen's top of the line, best there is. And naturally, if you got a good genetic and you're selling that as pure as you can get genetic, then of course you're going to say your product, I have a great product. That's just a part of selling. That's business. But it's one thing to tell people you have a great product, then as soon as you get it delivered, you test a product and it falls apart. Versus if you buy a product from somebody and you get it and you're able to use it for 15 years, okay, that's a great product. But you got a whole bunch of pulling the wool over folks' eyes nowadays, and even back then, apparently, you had the same issues going on. Yeah, people cheating people. It's not good business. That's all I got, people.
No, another one.
Jasper, you pushing it. But if you're interested in that, go check it back out.
People were getting into it.
Oh, yes.
A lot of people, I guess, were just getting
Well,
Monday mornings warming closer.
it's almost 10 o'clock on a lot of y'all time over there.
Mm-hmm.
East Coast folks. Yeah. So that's all I got there.
Danae. Brian said a humbug likes the music but doesn't know the words. And Danae said I'm the opposite of a humbug. I belt it out loud even if I don't know the words.
Yeah. We was having that conversation not long ago about a song, but I thought I knew the words of it, and I've been singing it all wrong the whole time going down the road by myself. Then you have that moment of that wasn't what they were saying in the song.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Lisa.
Yeah, Graham.
Secret Asian man.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Oh,
Lord have mercy.
I don't know. What was it you were thinking? It was the Dancing Queen song.
What was that? I was trying.
You thought they were saying only 17 when they said 17 or something like that?
Something along those lines. We was in that coffee shop getting some coffee, and
Matt said just keep reading.
yeah. Al wasn't into the song, I'll tell you that.
Mm.
She was, I guess, a woman's song or something. But Hannah was saying, "Oh, I like the beat of the song, or I like the music." And I was like, I can't get that crap out of my head. All I just hear is the dun dun dun, whatever it is. I don't know what they were saying. But
Oh, man.
if you want to get back on one, you remember this one? Ain't no hollaback girl. Ain't no hollaback girl.
Please. Just.
I drove her up the wall with that the other day.
Yes, he did. Good night, Sarah.
Yes, ma'am. Take
They're
care,
all
Sarah.
leaving. You don't start singing that. It's late for her, though. I think she's an hour ahead of us. Danae, don't encourage this, Danae. I heard this way, way, way too many times the other day.
It was all day. I gave it to her from the time we pulled out the driveway to the time we got home.
I was literally, no exaggeration, I was literally pulling my hair out of my head because he would not quit. And that's the only words he knows to the entire song.
Ain't no
So
howl
that's
about girl.
all that. Oh my gosh. I'm getting a headache already. Yeah, Danae, you just come scoop him up, girl, and you are on your own from that point on.
Yeah.
Oh, man. No, I don't want nothing to do with that. Trust me, I hear karaoke right here in this living room. Way more than y'all realize.
But it's my own words to the music.
Yeah,
Some of it I wish I could tell y'all, but I can't. YouTube level kick me off here.
yeah.
Sing irons in the stream for you.
Let's just move on from the karaoke.
Mm.
Oh my gosh.
I'd sing her that one too. Serenade you.
Mm, I don't know if that's really the word for it. Yeah, DC, he knows all the. That's your mom. Oh man, you'll have to call Tim with that one day, Mr. Mom. Oh my gosh. Yeah, everybody's dipping out.
They go. See you later. Yeah,
Yeah, I ain't had enough coffee for this, y'all.
that's my world, y'all.
Oh, that's his world all the time. That's his world.
What was well, we gotta get back on beekeeping.
Yeah, that took a hard left turn. Oh no, Danae. Just make it better than holler back, girl. Please, if you're gonna do that. But I promise you, he really don't need help. He will literally make up songs and sing them in all different accents. And now Blaine's coming in.
There we go. Blaine with no E. Old Texican there. Good to see you, Bubba.
Mike said, I used to wish I could sing. Now I wish you could.
That's hilarious. Yeah,
Blaine, you don't know what you just walked into, man.
well, Bob, hopefully you get you. You was able to see quite a bit there.
Oh, I'm gonna have to get my sorry coffee for this. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That's the best compliment I've had in a long time.
Oh my word.
Let's see, what else? There's
Oh no, Richard. Now those words are gonna be stuck in my head today.
you ain't no honeybee girl.
They all gonna start picking on you now. Tim is singing and it's not great. Y'all should see when he really lets loose though. I'll have to secretly record that one day. I'll let y'all get a glimpse into my world.
I have too
It's
much fun in my
hilarious.
brain.
Oh, he just don't even know what to do in his own brain sometimes. It is fun though. It keeps life interesting.
I'll tell her a story, just about whatever. I don't, something off the
Yeah.
wall. Make it
Something.
sound truthful in the beginning, then, I tell her, do you believe that? Because I wouldn't. Then it just kind of goes from there, I think. But Yeah.
His
That's where we're
words.
at.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Don't record it. We'll just take your word for it.
mm. So it's safe to say I wouldn't get any votes on American Idol by a bunch of these people here.
Hey, look, they say we rely on that verse that says something about where Jesus can take our utterance and groanings and turn them into a pleasant sound for the Father. Oh Lord, tonight we get banned off of YouTube so fast if I did that with some of the stuff he comes up with.
Oh yeah, some people have a fit.
What is wrong with
Yes, this
him?
man's got problems. Good grief. Get him on some kind of regimen or something.
No, Mr. David.
This thing says I know I can't say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But that's our world, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta make light of it. Gotta have fun.
Oh, we have fun. It's just doesn't always make sense to everybody else.
Well, I've told Hannah this before. There's a couple of y'all in these chats that I know if we'd have been in school together, we'd have been writing sentences, letters sent home every single day. Y'all just clowning around too much. The whole shooting match. And I told her, I said, boy, if I could just put these people in a room together with me in school, we'd have had a blast.
They would have got expelled out of kindergarten. Kind of deal. God only hears the intent, not the tone.
Let's see what it is. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Mr. David.
Yeah.
uh,
This is going to be the one people say for a rainy day when they just need something stupid to laugh at.
what the world's wrong with these people?
Yeah.
Yes, Carl. Yes.
Well,
He said, this is your schoolroom.
um,
Because I do tell you all the time, I can't wait to talk to my friends whenever we get on here.
mm-hmm. You know, that's true.
And if we can have Mr. Mike Conley as the teacher,
Oh, no.
and the rest of us like Blaine,
Brad.
Joey Rawls, probably. I could see him cutting up.
He's like
carrying
the
on
quiet
school.
one in the back,
Mhm.
egging everybody on.
Yeah, hit me in the back of the shoulder. Look, I dare you.
I know, that's why we all get along so good today. Because we're all on the same level. Mm-mm-mm.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mike Conley. And he was what we was trying to remember a few Sundays back about what he was saying on what he used or he thought would be a good idea to use. So you got a swarm of bees way up high in a tree, and you can't get to them really. Getting a fishing pole, putting a little weight on the end of it. And some people are really good at doing this, so you probably shouldn't have no issue at all doing this, but flinging it up and over a limb,
Mm-hmm.
letting the line come down, then you tie you a frame, a brood, onto that fishing line. Reel it back up so it's going to pull it back up to where the swarm is up there. Then start letting the bees collect on that frame and drop it back down and put your bees in the box.
Mhm.
Yeah. It only took 2 episodes, but I finally remembered it. So
Oh my gosh.
you're welcome.
Hmm.
Oh, Philip too.
Yeah, he just said my son got kicked out of the 2nd grade. Had to switch teachers. He must have got that from his mom.
Yeah.
Carl said he made lots of trips to the principal's office. And Shane.
So there's a bunch of like-minded individuals in here with me.
Mike said I'm amazingly good at getting fish and line wrapped around tree limbs. Me.
The good man said it worked great. The bees would cover it up in a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
Folks are saying genius.
Yeah, we can't take credit. That was all Mr. Mike's idea.
Yeah. Now I wish I'd have thought about that year before last. Because y'all, I spent probably 2 hours trying to fling a rope and a big old piece of lead way, I don't know, it was 30, 40 feet up in a tree.
Mm-hmm.
And I flung that thing all over the place, but where it was supposed to go. And eventually, I did get it stuck on a tree limb, and it's still wrapped around the tree limb today up there. But you probably need at least a 20-pound test line on there.
Yeah, DC, I am not turning him loose with one of those.
Look, this is what I'm gonna start doing. I got a new product, and I'll tell y'all about this one. I'll split the money with you, Mr. Mike, if they ever sell swarm catching fishing poles. But you leave the fishing out. All right. Swarm catching poles. You paint them yellow and black, change the name on it a little bit, jack the price up astronomically. Put some 20-pound, 30-pound test line on there. And put a certain kind of hook or D-ring on there, which will be included. Put that on there. Then you can sell it as the swarm catching kit.
Rednecks one.
Y'all holler at me if you want one.
He said I use braid.
You
Braided
put,
one.
you put braided on there.
It's better.
Well,
That rough tree bark.
I mean,
Dragging it over them limbs.
you may have some people that argue braided over the other line. What's the other one? I can't remember
But
what it is.
shoot a tennis ball with a string and pull a rope over the limb with a bucket. Blaine said I'll take 2.
Take 2. First man. I'll autograph those first 2. That's a good idea. You can make you a tater gun and do that with the tennis ball.
Yeah.
I guess while we just killing time, I will tell y'all one of my tater gun stories. Me and old buddy, we got our hands on one as young teenagers, and we had run out of red potatoes to stick in that joker. So we took a rag and we put a golf ball inside of a rag. And longer story short, boom, golf ball goes out of sight across the neighborhood. All right, I grew up in the neighborhood, and that joker went, I'm talking about it got some distance on it. Boom. Never seen the golf ball again. The next morning, this is a true story. Next morning, we get on the school bus, and the kids that live on the opposite end of the neighborhood over there get on the school bus talking about, you ain't going to believe it, but somebody took a golf ball and knocked through my mama's driver's side windshield on her truck.
No, I don't believe that.
No, me and old boy that was there with the potato gun and the golf ball, we never admitted to it.
I don't imagine you did.
But we was like, oh crap, we're going to be in some trouble if somebody finds out about that one. But we kept
Your
that one.
mouth shut.
Yeah, I'm old enough now we talk about it. Them folks are long gone. But sure did. Had no idea that golf ball was going to go through somebody's windshield or driver's side window. Tater guns can be a lot of fun, people, if you never shot one.
Oh, there's your last troublemaker.
Yep. Okay, John.
Just in time to say goodnight. The statute of limitations.
Mm. That's a good one, DC.
Oh, man. This chat has gone off the rails again.
It's fine. We're at the latter part of it, so
You got 3 minutes, Buttons.
Yep. Everybody's revving it out with us again. I appreciate y'all. As
How much fun are the sparklers, Tim? Loads of fun.
well, I'm gonna tell you what. I don't know if I can say the word or not, but some of y'all may know about this. With your sparklers, you take about 10 packs of them babies, you put them all together,
Mm-hmm.
wrap them really tight in duct tape, and you have one sparkler sticking out of the center and at the top. Light it and run. And I mean
Run really
run.
fast.
Because once things ignite, it leaves a crater in the ground. And you think them cannons are loud. Have some fun with that.
Okay, everybody say, not on YouTube, not on YouTube. You're going to get flagged.
That's why I'm watching my words. But
Uh-huh.
lots of fun, people.
It's a fuse.
Yes, it's the people. You got a few minutes to get away. But you better get some cover.
Uh-huh. Well, you are correct. It must be because of some childhood crime you committed.
Yeah. Well, it's like, all right, we're running on out. Last year,
Let me see. Where are you going with this?
the mailbox.
No, not on YouTube. You can't say that stuff out loud on YouTube.
Well, I'm not going to tell them what I
Leave
did
it
to the
on.
mailbox. But y'all know how it is as teenagers. Okay. Go back to your youth and mailboxes. Well, we woke up last year and our mailbox was busted and on the ground out at the highway. So I go back and look on the security cameras, and lo and behold, what I found on the security camera. Now, like I told Hannah, I said, I can't get mad about this because I just can't get mad. But
I was mad.
she was mad.
I was furious when I watched that video. Like, I mean, literally, I was furious when I watched that video because it was about the dumbest thing I have ever seen an individual do in my life.
You men are like this. But we live right on a state highway. The speed limit is 55. The average speed is 75. All right. About 2 o'clock that morning, you can see on the security camera headlights coming wide open. Then all of a sudden, you see those headlights
Just slam
Yeah.
on brakes.
go toward the ground. Well, some young teenage boy jumps out of the car And I guess our mailbox was the one they wanted.
He just football
Sure
tackled
did.
our mailbox.
Jumped out the car and wrapped that baby up and down to the ground. He went with it.
Oh yeah,
I was like,
on film.
you sorry son of a gun. You got me. You got me back.
I was furious. Like, so you have nothing better to do with your life at 2 o'clock in the morning than tackle $100 mailbox on the side of the road for nothing.
Yeah.
I was livid.
Yeah. I really, I just laughed. And
He did, but I never did that to somebody's mailbox intentionally. I never destroyed property like that.
he said it had to be a dare. Yeah. A dare or double dare.
I've never wished for somebody to be drunk before, but that was about the only excuse I could come up with for somebody doing that. It was like, man, just come on.
Let's see,
Or a
DC.
cattle prod. DC's getting violent over there.
Well, he talking about popping the fire out of somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Or do the old,
At least he manned up and didn't use a bat. Seriously.
well, I mean, that's why I couldn't argue with it. I was like,
But he sure did. Just, I mean, took off running from the back door of that car and straight up. I mean, you saw the moron leave the ground and make contact in the air with the mailbox, and then they both hit the dirt. It's like, man, just really, what was the point in that? That's the first I'd ever heard of mailbox football.
oh, it was probably every bit. He did a good 8, maybe 10-yard dash. He didn't have much, but buddy, he put everything he had into it. He dropped that shoulder and right on in he went.
Yeah, he did. But it's like a 4-foot ditch on the other side he dove into with it. That group of boys are still talking about tackling that.
Yeah.
That's a guy thing, I guess. I don't know. I mean, my brain just, I can't rationalize that in my head.
Heck yeah, that's a guy thing. You know they still sitting around laughing and carrying on, but just the same as we carry on.
Testosterone, Hannah. It's called testosterone and teenage brains. I believe that. I mean, I did stuff like that, but it was all an accident, and it was never involving alcohol. Usually it was horses.
Did we save that video on the camera?
We did, but I don't know if it got fried when that thing got hit or not. It may be on that hard drive if we can pull it up.
I'll try to go back and see if I can find it. We could.
Like I said, they're probably telling this story on some other YouTube live right now.
As they recorded it.
Ah, that makes sense, DC. People are going crazy over this.
Well, it's bringing back wonderful memories for them. So, hey, there we go. You remember that time whenever I, done that, whatever I wasn't supposed to do? Oh, I got a bunch of them. I just can't tell y'all because they will shut me down.
Yeah, they will. In a heartbeat, they will.
But maybe one day, for some of you, we get to meet sit around the dinner table.
Yeah, those are
I'll tell you some of
definitely
those.
in-person stories where no recording's going on.
But all right,
Are
you
you
ready?
done now?
I think so. We all got a good laugh. Brought back some wonderful memories.
No comment tonight.
Oh, the good old days.
She talking about cow tipping now.
Done that.
I tried. I didn't weigh enough. I couldn't flip.
Hey, there was one. I'll tell you this one real quick on the cow.
I was afraid.
There was one old boy we dropped out. He never done it before. And we told him, said, look, we're going to drop you off here at the cow field. And we're going to turn around and come back. Meet us at this destination. Old boy took off out running through that field. He thought he seen one of the heifers out there. Pitch black dark. He said, man, he said, I got about 10 feet from that thing, and that joker had horns wider than I was tall. He said, he said, I didn't even go for it. I took a right and started running the other direction. He said, I never made it to any cows to tip, Timmy. Oh, Lord. Yeah.
You're getting the loose. Yeah, seriously. Great beach at. I thought this went off the rails like an hour ago and we never got back on it.
Yeah, everybody had it. All right, we done cow tipping and
Seriously.
with potato guns and stuff, but
Cow tipping with potato gun. I need some sleep, y'all. In a really bad way, I need some sleep.
yeah. But yeah, we appreciate you watching. Enjoyed it, absolutely. And
Y'all come back now.
you hear?
I won't be shocked if people come back next week after this.
But all right, y'all. God bless you, Lord willing. We'll see y'all on the next one.
Yeah,
Y'all
y'all have
take
a
care.
good week.